to the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast.
Welcome back to the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast. This is episode number 98, inching ever so close to our 100 episode, and also consequently inching ever so close to the launch of Modern Warfare 2 2022 with Warzone 2 only 2 weeks roughly beyond that. A lot of twos happening here, so I hope you two, as in TOO, are ready to get busy talking some Warzone. And that person I am talking to is, of course, the 10InchCowboy. Much like last week, this week we played quite a bit, perhaps almost daily. I can't check the record, but that said, I got to ask you, Cowboy, how was your week this week in the Warzone?
Wow, thank you for that slightly confusing introduction. I had a interesting week. It was going very well until today, where I had one of those nightmare rounds where you're screaming and wanting to rage quit and really upset with everything. But it was going great until today. So kind of going into this recording with a bitter taste in my mouth. But it was fun this week. I've been sniping a lot, having a good time with that. Dialing in the loadouts. It had been fun, playing all the maps, all over the place, getting wins across the board. So that's been fun, but today was a fucking nightmare. So I will throw it back to you. How was your week in the Warzone?
Well, it's a phrase we've uttered so often on this podcast, and that is the Warzone giveth and the Warzone taketh away. And it really did feel like the past week that the Warzone had giveth quite a bit. But today, much the same as you, I stuck around a little bit longer than you. Wish I hadn't, because yes, it was tough sledding. It was running uphill with slick bottom shoes on an icy, surface, just smacking my face every time I took a step forward. I think I had a round where I was like 0 kills, 8 deaths, just, getting shredded. You land on a loadout, you're dead. Anywhere you land, I think a topic to circle back to is we talked about it when the map first came out, but Fortune's Keep, man, when you are down or need to reset in that game, I don't know if there's a harder situation, except maybe like Final Circle, Caldera, or Verdansk. But God, I mean, if you're in bad shape on that map, it's hard to claw out of the hole.
Yeah, it's a punishing map. If you're in the wrong place, your round's over quick. Your team can get destroyed very quickly. So I agree. That is one of the more frustrating maps, I think, Fortune's Keep. I prefer Caldera now to Fortune's Keep. Been having some fun on Caldera. Yeah, I just get more upset, I feel like, when I play Fortune's Keep. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know. I mean, it rewards rattier play, I think, that map for sure, because you got these guys, they post up in a high position and you're down low, and it's like there's no real easy ways or workarounds to get to them. A lot of buildings on, let's say, Rebirth or back in Verdansk or on Caldera, I feel like you can kind of circumvent, find different way in. Whereas this one, it's like if you get to the top of one of those bell towers or the terrace, it's pretty easy to kind of hold that area and make that your own and punish all the little plebs around you, which certainly happened to be me quite a bit today or this week.
Yeah, it was good. Today I was just getting pork rolled, but I was also getting pork rolled on Rebirth today too. I was just it was a rough day. Maybe it's because we played later on in the sweatier servers. I don't know if I've ever bought into that. I don't really know how that works, but it was fucking rough.
Well, I guess maybe I should take a little bit of credit for that, having crashed a helicopter full of our team, because I ran into one of those fucking power lines, but I'm not here to point fingers or anything.
It does happen. We should open this discussion up to the audience. Tron and I have fundamentally different perspectives on how to fly the helicopter across the map. Tron likes to stay really low and go wide over the water, and I like to just go as high as possible, way above. Curious to see what people think is the safest, but I'll let you. I've never crashed the helicopter being too high. That's my argument.
But I imagine you've been blown up or killed out of the helicopter in that instance.
I mean, we got blown up in the helicopter while I was waiting for, wait, that also happened today too, huh?
Yeah.
You crashed the helicopter and then I got rocketed when I was
Yeah, that was just bad luck, that one.
That was just unbelievable. Guy came out with a rocket launcher.
Yeah, with a freaking, I think he missed his first shot too,
Yeah.
and somehow like had extra ammunition there to take us down. So
It was it was a rough day. Rough day.
well, let's dive into it. While we were kind of prepping to get recording a little earlier in the week, I saw they dropped an update, a little patch, and specifically didn't do much. But what it did do is, well, first off, they patched an issue, which I don't know if you saw the clip, but people discovered when you shot a loadout, I don't know if it's on all the maps, but definitely on Caldera, if you shot a loadout with a rocket launcher, it knocked that fucking thing damn near across the map like a goalie kicking, the ball out from his own side of the field. Like, did you see that clip?
I didn't see that clip. No. What happened?
Well, you should check our Warzone thread. Yes. So there was people discovered if you shot like anyone's, like you saw a loadout sitting there, and let's say you could have like a upward angle on it, like let's say it was maybe on a cliff or something, and you shot it with a rocket launcher, it would project that loadout like literally hundreds of meters into the sky. It's pretty hilarious to watch.
I did see that. Yeah. Is that always been like that, or is that just some weird glitch that people have found? Because I wish we'd known that a long time ago.
Yeah. I don't know, but they've since patched that as of this update. But more importantly, they did a little tiny bit of, weapons massaging. We talked a lot of detail in great length, I should say, last week about the state of weapon balancing, how good it is, how, there's not quite absolute meta, although, the UGM and the Armaguerra kind of regarded as that. And I'd say for sniping the anti-tank rifle. Well, guess what? They gave all three of those weapons very, very minor nerfs. The UGM had its minimum damage decreased by 1 from 22 down to 21. The anti-tank rifle, the Garanko, had its bullet velocity decreased by 80 from 980 down to 900, and the Armaguerra had its minimum damage decreased by 2 from down to 21 from 23. So I think you're still rocking the Arma. Are you using the tank rifle? What are you thinking about the meta? What do you think about these little changes?
So I just switched it up, actually. Today, which maybe is one of the reasons I had such a nightmare today, but I went back to the Armaguerra. So I have two loadouts that I'm rocking, basically. I got the anti-tank sniper, which is kind of my go-to for early rounds. And then I probably should switch that for the sniper support to be an Armaguerra, but right now I'm still running the PP, the old Vanguard PP hipfire, which is I'm not that happy with it, and I need to change that. I think I'm going to go to the Armaguerra, and then on my other loadout, which is my non-sniping, more like late game loadout, I have the Armaguerra and actually a Cooper. I'm back on the Cooper carbine. The STG never did it for me. I just couldn't hit my shots. I don't know why. The STG just never was it for me. It was always the Cooper, so I'm going back to what I'm comfortable with.
I mean, the Cooper is great. It's always felt great. Always look for that as a ground loot early on. And I mean, the state of the AR space is like insanely balanced. Like, I kind of attempted, I think I ran 4 different ARs this week in terms of my loadout. I said I was doing the M4 last week. I dabbled a little bit with the STG. I threw the AK-47 back on Black Ops. And then I think I ran even like the XM4 one round. I've also the gold Vargo I've been finding. It still feels really good. So the AR space is amazing. I'm glad they didn't touch that. I like this nerf to the UGM, although I think it needs a recoil nerf, because I found like a really good one on a guy and I used it, and it's like the old Bren, like it's just constant stream of bullets, no recoil. I like this nerf to the Arma because the SMG space also feels really good, and I'm just kind of like curious after this is like, where does this leave us? Who is going to come out and kind of definitively say like, this is the meta now? Because I think there's a lot of arguments to be made for dozens of weapons, basically.
Yeah, it's very balanced. A lot of people are running a lot of things that I haven't heard of in a long time. It's really interesting. Sorry, I keep yawning. I don't know. Maybe the weapons have gotten so boring because it's so it's
Wow.
it's also you know, I'm
Jesus.
just kind of bored now. I'm used to being violently harassed by the weapon balance. So but yes, I'm curious.
That is
How
a
much
good
longer do we
point,
have?
though. Well, we have a month, and as of date of this recording, a month and 10 days until the new Warzone comes out, but only 22 days, or about 3 weeks until Modern Warfare 2 drops. So it's ticking down there.
Yeah, but we're not going to have. I mean, are there going to be more updates? There's no more
they
like
said
big
not
updates.
until I think the end of the calendar year, even, but definitely until Warzone 2 drops. And we're going to talk about some changes that are allegedly going to be taking place around that time. That kind of controversial, but yeah, no major updates other than I think maybe they might. I don't know if they'll even do another weapons tuning pass because again, I feel like it's kind of chef's kiss at this point. It's perfect.
Yeah, I don't see why. They're not going to change much. I think it's just going to be a smorgasbord of weapons until we get the move on to the big boy map or the new map.
Yeah, but like you said, one thing I think is really amazing and cool as a result of this is when you kill players, you find their weapons. I'm finding all sorts of stuff like finding, M13. I'm finding a Fennec. I'm finding MP5. I'm finding MP7. ARs like all over the XM4. I haven't seen like a Krig and stuff like that, or the Grau. I think it's all RAM, even RAM 7, the old so. Clearly, the players out there are taking advantage of this, finding like what they dig, what they like. It's interesting. Like you didn't really like the STG. Well, now you're not really penalized. Before, when that was the absolute meta, you kind of would suffer a penalty if you didn't want to be a slave to the meta fucking rankings. So I'm just curious to see like True Game Data, Warzone Loadout, folks out there that rank weapons, what their kind of take on the meta is, but I don't think anyone's going to be out there shouting from the rooftops about any one gun in particular.
I agree. Unless you're a sniper and you're just so excited in your little boots that you have a sniper to use now.
Which is what?
The anti-tank. The
Well, they
Granco
nerfed it a
anti-tank.
little bit, though.
It's still a fully viable, legitimate sniper.
That's
yeah,
true.
100%.
We saw, Paul, friend of the pod, take down a juggernaut with that thing, like 5 straight
sniping.
headshots. Yeah.
That was impressive. We should maybe post that clip. It's so
Some
good.
remarkable stuff that certainly we could never achieve ourselves. We're just too busy flying helicopters into power lines. But
Yeah.
that was really it for the Warzone news this week. But as I alluded to, a little bit of some breaking news came out. Not breaking, but rumor mill came out about, the future of Rebirth, the future of Fortune's Keep, how Warzone and Warzone 2 are kind of going to coexist. And I had assumed, I don't know about you, Cowboy, but I figured, Warzone 2 launches. Warzone 1, as they said, is going to continue to exist. It'll be like this legacy, old school weird out for the weirdos. But it'll just kind of just keep doing its thing. Well, a rumor came out claiming that actually when Warzone 2 launches on November the 16th, they're going to get rid of Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep, and it's only going to be called Dara.
Why? Why would they do that to us?
I mean, we'll have moved on, I imagine. Like, we're not going to be playing Warzone 1 at this point when 2's online.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
But still, it begs the question of, like you said, why, which I think the answer is they want to drive people to Modern Warfare 2. So if you want that small scale, quick, rapid, cracked out, die, come back, you got to go shell out the $70, get the standalone game. The other question is maybe they're going to be introducing a similar kind of small map Resurgence thing for Warzone 2, which we haven't heard anything about that. We've heard about DMZ. Obviously, we've seen the new Warzone 2 map, all this new shit, but we haven't heard anything about, like, if they're going to continue with this Resurgence as a companion kind of thing.
So this is at what point exactly when the new, like, immediately when it comes out, we lose everything else, essentially?
So again, this is a rumor, not confirmed yet.
Okay.
But yeah, on November 16th, Warzone 2 goes live. Warzone 1 loses Rebirth and fortunes, and you only got Caldera if you're sticking around there.
Who's this leaker that's giving us this information? Can we trust this guy?
I didn't write it in the show notes, but a lot of the big COD people were picking up on it, talking about it. So it definitely wasn't just some like random dude tweeting it out. Had some legs.
Okay, well, next time let's cite your sources here. We're not some ragtime, half-ass journalistic endeavor here. We have some fucking integrity, damn it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you of all people, you're like a regular Woodward over there, just always digging up the new info. You always got the receipts. You're always citing. You source
receipts.
everything.
I've been called a lot of things, but a Woodward is not one of them. So
Woodward
I'll take
and
that.
Bernstein, man, fucking.
Oh, I thought you meant like a Woodward, like someone that's good with words. See, exactly. I don't know words. I don't know definitions.
Bob Woodward, famed journalist.
I know. Okay, now yes, All the President's Men, of course. Very good movie.
All right,
I've been
thank you.
there. Yes.
Well, yes. So again. So if you're a fan out there of this Resurgence thing, of this kind of, I think we can really call it's a hybrid. It's like, they cross-pollinated Battle Royale with multiplayer, and you get this Resurgence. And if you're a fan of that, which we certainly are, you're going to be kind of left in the lurch here for an unforeseeable future.
Yeah. You guys, I find it, fascinating that we have evaded this potential catastrophe because we have been gifted the game by listeners of the pod, which we're very grateful for. And we will not be affected by this because we are professionals.
That's true. Laws of gravity saved us any sort of uncertainty. If we are craving, that kill action, if we find that the new Warzone 2 is too sweaty, we can pivot back there. But I think more importantly, it's going to be an asset for leveling up guns and stuff, because that was just never a thing I had. Like, you would do these unlock challenges, and we're like, well, we're fucked. And they don't do free multiplayer weekends anymore. Whereas now it's like they introduce a new gun, and you're going to need to get, slide kills in this many games. We'll drop into the fucking multiplayer. I'm sure they'll have like a shipment type of level, super close quarters, where we can just kind of grind that out. And yeah, again, that's thanks to the laws of gravity and, our listeners as a whole as well.
Yes. Looking forward to it. But I think we have something coming up here.
Yeah. Well, in addition to that news dropping, that rumor, there was a big drop today, specifically date of recording, which was the brand new launch. They're calling it trailer for Modern Warfare 2. But before we dive into that, it is time to share a brief word from our sponsor. And yes, indeed, as we've said, it's pretty wild, but with November on the horizon, only next month, the World Cup is going to be happening then, because it's being played in fucking Qatar, because they're all... I can't go off on FIFA and all that, but it's happening in a place where if they played during the summer, the players would melt on the field. So they've moved it to November. And just the same, you want to make sure that your balls aren't melting, even though it is winter here in, whatever hemisphere we're in. But that said, that all leads me to tell you that if you want to have the championship this year, you should be going with Manscaped.com and their products. Because that is the real deal. That is the ultimate grooming package for a champion. That's the performance package. We've talked about it. We've talked about all the great products, including the Lawnmower Trimmer 4.0, including the Weed Whacker Air Nose Hair Trimmer, including the travel bag, and even boxers. So they say you're going to have multiple ball formulations, excuse me.
Yeah. Multiple ball formations. Interesting. Tell me more.
And the trimmer. Did you know that the battery lasts 90 minutes? So you could be shaving your nether regions for an entire football match.
I do not... I feel bad for the individual that is forced to do that, because that seems like quite an endeavor. I feel like your blades would run out after a certain amount of time. But continue, sorry.
I mean, we talked about King Kong needing this out there. But that said, they do make the note, please remember, if you do that, please take a water break at halftime. And then finally, the Weed Whacker is waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. And it provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes of yours.
No one likes a hard tug on a hair around your genitals. That's why you got to keep these things sharp.
Well, yes, indeed. And if you want to keep yourself saving a little bit of money when you do purchase your Manscaped products, well, head over to manscaped.com and use the code WAH as in Warzone Amateur Hour. As we've said, that's going to get you 20% off and free delivery.
Use the code, people.
All right. So, yes, let's dive into this brand new, which dropped hot off the presses, launch trailer for Modern Warfare 2. And if you've been a fan of this podcast for any sort of amount of time, few weeks, you probably know that we're passionate about cinematics. We're passionate about story, that accompanies this. And with a full brand new cornerstone standalone game, they ain't just doing multiplayer. They got a full-on campaign, which means hopefully a riveting story. We got a cast of characters returning. And so this trailer really wasn't showing off gameplay. It was really showing off the story. And I sent you the link. Did you watch it? If so, what were your thoughts on this new trailer?
I did watch the new trailer. And it had a bit of a, I think you said this, so I'm stealing your word. It had a Sicario spice to it. There was a cartel component. There was some dangerous people. I guess that's pretty general if we're talking Call of Duty, but it was fun. It felt like a movie trailer, really. I mean, minus like a little bit more of a concrete storyline. Like it felt like a generic cartel movie trailer. What do you think?
I mean, I think definitely some cartel aspects. Like, yeah, there's specifically, I saw a clip of them. It seemed like there's a border crossing type of situation and there's cars at a standstill. To me, it seemed like it was ripped out of the pages of Sicario, that incredible sequence happening at the U.S.-Mexico border. But that's yet to be seen. But yes, they just dropped this trailer on October 6th. It's got voiceover. We got the bad guys infiltrating them, getting the band back together. They're alluding to I feel like nukes are involved. They said, how many do they have and when can they use them? Which to me, that sounds like a pretty massive weapon. But one of the main takeaways is, this seems like they really spent some time on the story, but also is like the quality of the cinematic, the animation is just absolutely incredible.
It's really well done, right? I mean, whoever's doing this, and this is for Modern Warfare 2, right? This isn't Warzone. Yeah. This is just classic Modern Warfare 2. Like, this is coming at you, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And, as two folks who have pre-ordered Modern Warfare 2, part of that is we're going to get early access to this campaign. I believe 1 week early. So it'd be October 21st, which I'm really hoping... there's so much uncertainty, we can't make any promises, but I'm really hoping we can do a recording of us, one of us, either you or I, playing through some of these missions with the other person watching, giving some commentary, because I was just excited to see this and play it. And I thought the idea of, playing it with my buddy, the 10-Inch Cowboy, alongside, us watching, enjoying this, experiencing this together, is kind of exciting to think about.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. And so this, though, is on October 28th.
Well, no. We're going to get early access, I think, a week earlier, the 21st.
21st. Okay. I'm coming back from town that day, so I will be there.
And I don't know if it's full campaign or they just restrict it to the first, few missions. But either way, there's some crazy sequences happening. I see a dirt bike chase, some rockets being launched, them rappelling into a building. There's night missions, there's day missions, there's, stuff on the ocean, there's stuff in the fucking buildings, there's stuff in the sky, desert. So it looks like we're going to get a lot of cool shit here. And, I think I have played a few of these campaigns. I don't believe you have, Cowboy, but yeah, there's some real cinematic moments. I've always felt like that's one of the beauties of video games is it's kind of like a movie that you can play. And the Call of Duty games, if you're like an action buff, you can't really get much closer to the action than playing one of these suckers.
Yeah, I've never done a campaign. I don't even know what that's like. So I guess this is a very exciting thing.
So then I think you should probably have the wheel to start, or I don't know, or we can trade off. But yeah, you definitely need to sink your toes into this. They also kind of introduce you into like any new mechanics or stuff like that. You get your hands on a bunch of different guns, so it kind of helps you like ease into the multiplayer too, and it whets the appetite, you know.
I like whetting the appetite. That's something I like to do a lot. So that's exciting. And what is okay, sorry, but just to give a update on the time frame, October 21st, we get, because we're no. What I'm getting at is October 21st is the elites like us get it. The plebs get it on the 28th. And then what's the time frame then for Warzone 2? Like, we get our beaks wet here. How long do we have to wait before we're dropping in the new Warzone?
Well, so it'll be November 16th. So however many days from October 28th to November 16th. Let me take a look at my calendar.
It's like 3 weeks.
28th is a Friday. Pretty much, yeah, 2.5 weeks roughly. It'll be the 16th, middle of the week. Wednesday is when Modern Warfare or Warzone 2 is going to be dropping. So, you know, save up that sick time or vacation time and get ready to use that for November 16th, you know.
I like it a lot. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. But beyond that, there's not really a ton to cover this week. Maybe a shorter episode. Any kind of final thoughts? Any philosophical musings? Things you want to get off your chest here?
No, trying to think if there's anything else.
I mean, heading into next week, sounds like you're gonna stick with this Garanko. Any other sticking with the Cooper with it too? You're dropping the armor.
I got my 2 loadouts that I'm into. I might I think I just equipped the Armaguerra and the Cooper, which was a switch from my STG and MP40. And I'm also going to be messing with, I think, my ADS sensitivity because I'm getting a little, for some reason, I'm like developing the yips when I'm looking down my SMGs and ARs. I'm just like missing my shots. I'm pushing and pulling, and I think I need to soften it a little bit. So I let it do its thing, you know, let that the aim assist take over, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something to get dialed in, you know, as we prep. Because again, when Warzone 2 launches, we're going to be diving in with a fresh KD. So that means if we die before we get a kill, we have a fucking, 0 KD? So we're already in a hole. Whereas on the flip side, baby, you get 1 kill, or what is it? Yeah, 1 kill, and then you die. We're sitting at the coveted 1.0 threshold, you know what I mean?
Oh, so yeah.
We definitely want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be ready.
So yeah, that's one thing we did get a tip is, you know, everyone obviously plays around with the look sensitivity with the ADS stuff, but the multiplier, I haven't dived into it myself. I think maybe I'll have to lower it a little bit, but that's yet to be seen. The other thing is these audio settings. We had some folks on our Discord talking about, you know, maybe we want to consider tweaking that if we're having issues with, because we've said like, oh, everyone complains about the footsteps and we're not hearing them that loud. So maybe that's a red flag. But I did purchase a brand new headset, which is coming. So, you know, shouts to those out there that were asking about that shit. My old headset literally fell apart this week. So kind of serendipitous.
How did it fall apart?
The earpiece fell off, the foam. But yeah, so I think this is really the time to lock it in, dial it in, and get ready, because this episode is going to be publishing on October 10th, which means, you know, 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks until it's going to be Modern Warfare 2. Like we are fucking whatever, you know, go time.
Yeah, it's happening.
I wish I had a more articulate word or phrase.
It's go time. Yeah.
But there's some like military term about like, this is it, like not event horizon, but you know, like it's fucking Olympus is falling here.
Let's move on. I think we can wrap it up. You're struggling.
Let's wrap it up. That is gonna do it for us this week on the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast. Had a few clips uploaded to our YouTube, so if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the bell icon too, then you can get notified. But check it out, it's your boy Cowboy uttering a phrase that should be etched in concrete, across our banner for the Warzone Amateur Hour. And the words were, Tron, I need you.
Yes. I was, I'm used to you running away when there's a skirmish. And I was saying, I need you to kill this guy because I was downed. And
who was there to pick you back up? But yes, indeed, going to be a lot more of that to come as we enter this awesome time. If you're out there, dust off that controller if you haven't. Dial in those sensitivities. Play around with these guns. Maybe get a new big screen, new monitor, new headset, new system. I heard PS5s are a little easier to find now because it's time for the amateurs to rise up and take back whatever the fuck we got to do.
Our pride. Let's just say our pride.
Our pride. So yes, indeed, we will talk to you next week, which is 1 week closer to Modern Warfare 2, and I think that'll be a week before the launch of this campaign, and consequently, so much closer to Warzone 2, which I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's an exciting time.
As you fucking yawn.
I'm sorry. It's so warm in my house. It's putting me to sleep.
Well, we will talk to you all next week if Cowboy is still with us and not slumbering. And until then, my friends,
good luck in the gulag.
Final note, I'm loving this new Caldera gulag. I think I'm like 100% on it.
I'm doing a lot better too. I've actually got like a game plan going down the middle, but we can maybe dive into that next week.
And that'll do it.
Good luck in the gulag.